Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. One day left till Ludum Dare. It's the last day we're gonna be productive for a bit here. And by productive, you know. Hey, Fox Shadow redeeming the stretch. Thank you, Fox Shadow. How's it going? It's been a minute. Nice to see you over on Twitch here. Hey, Rihanna Journey. How's it going? We're definitely gonna need a lot of those stretches over this weekend. It's gonna be a long 48 hours. All right, in exciting news, final theme voting round for Ludum Dare is up, so I don't know. Let's do this. Seems fun. Seems like a good way to start our day here. The last set of themes for Ludum Dare here. What are we thinking for some of these? Doors? No, thank you. I hate doors. Send signals. I don't know. Salvage? Salvage sounds kind of cool. Not sure about wild magic. I kind of like wild magic in the D&D sense, but side effects, this could be fun. There's a lot of fun themes here. Salvage and decay can go together. I mean, we'll only get the one theme, but that's a good point. There's a lot of themes here that I like that are going to be that would be complicated. This is the third and final round of theme voting for Ludum Dare. One of these is going to be the theme for the jam. No. I really don't like single word themes most of the time. Like salvage is one thing. Recharge could be fun. Recharge would be very like electricity. Plant the seed. We got a lot of gardening themes here. Like literally garden is one of the themes. Excuse me. Anchor, like what? Layers is okay. Bottomless and depths. We have like a number of themes that are like connected. And I mean that helps because we can come up with some ideas, and the ideas might work for multiple themes, you know? We're not going to come up with any ideas today. We'll probably do that tomorrow. Once I've had a look at the exit poll, the theme exit poll that someone usually runs. Trade, I really like trade, but this would be really hard. Like, I like some of these ideas, but or some of the themes, but the ideas I have for them are like way overscoped for a 48-hour game jam. Waves? I mean, it would just be like a waves of enemies kind of deal or something like that, right? Garden? I don't know. Ryson, people on the LD Discord were saying they think Doors will win because of the comments they've been saying. Doors definitely seems to be like the meme for this one. Someone usually does an exit poll. I just haven't gone looking for it. That usually has a good indicator. That's how we knew Summoning was going to win last year. Which was good, because Summoning was the only theme we prepared for. Side effects? I kind of like this. I feel like this is also something that's going to be hard to implement, but really cool. Out of order. You want a theme that people are going to understand, as well as a theme that, like, you can understand stuff for. I'm having a very, like, blasé response to a lot of these. Keep it together. Like, this is a cool thing, but, like, I don't know what this would mean. Hey, still needs work. Rhiannon, out of order could go in a variety of directions. things are broken and you're fixing. Things are literally out of order. Things are broken and you have to label them before people use it and die. Yeah. You also like plant the seed, but in a way where you're planting an idea in someone's brain. Oh yeah, like the Inception way. That's the problem, because it's not just about the theme. It's about like whether someone is going to understand your interpretation of the theme. Because like we did wind summoning, like summoning gusts of wind or whatever. People were like, I don't think this is really in spirit of the theme. And it's like, okay. So it's like you want to go with something that seems like a very obvious interpretation of the theme, because you are judged on theme. I'm good today. Still needs work. We got some work we want to do today, but we're starting the day off with the final. They just put up the final theme voting for Ludum Dare tomorrow. So we're starting our stream here by just doing our vote. And then tomorrow we'll review and maybe do some brainstorming. But just before the jam starts. On some possible game ideas. Recharge? I think I like Recharge. I think I've decided I like that. Bottomless and Depths are really small, are really similar, so I have like kind of mixed feelings about that. This is very different than the way I approached the last theme voting. I guess I should negatively vote anything I truly don't want. Like Decay, I don't know. I feel like implementing that would be like really hard. Hey, NanoBlit, are we exploring Strange New Worlds right now? We are going to be doing Ludum Dare tomorrow, the game jam. So at the moment, we're doing some theme voting. But yeah, we're going to be working on our main game today. How are you doing? I think we found out we're getting the next season of Strange New Worlds in like, what, August or something? It's a long way to wait. Rhiannon, for doors, you could keep working on the tile map editor. Perhaps 4 tile extra wide doors. Yeah. Well, we can use pre-existing code, but I probably wouldn't do that just because all of that stuff's written in C#, and I don't think I would want the code base for the jam game to be in C#. All right, plant the seed. Yeah, I'm weirdly meh about a lot of these, but not so meh that I want to negatively vote them. Keep it together. This is interesting. This is interesting in the same way salvage is interesting, so I think I'll keep it. We're downvoting doors just because we really don't want doors to win, and there's a strong likelihood that doors is going to win because it's such a meme in game development. So we're afraid of that. It's like not good. That will perpetuate everyone's perception. The Ludum Dare themes are weird and terrible in my mind. Out of Order is cool. Wild Magic is cool, but I don't want them to win per se. NanoBlit, you got new headphones that are supposed to be super comfortable and they still give you a headache like every other headphone. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, when I got these new glasses, these headphones were causing me a lot of discomfort. It seems fine now, so I don't know if it's just like the glasses have like warped to the point where I'm not bothered by it anymore, but I feel you on that. Physics-based Jenga game for Keep It Together, Ryson. That would be cool. Ryson, pretty sure compo has to be completely from scratch. Yeah, no, you can use code. You can use general purpose code. Yeah, base code is allowed. I actually looked at our base code yesterday, and there's like nothing there. I think the last time we worked on it was before mini delivery. So there's like basically nothing in it, which is unfortunate. Maybe it's because you wear glasses. Yeah, over-ear headphones and glasses are kind of touchy. So maybe the headphones just need to break in a little bit. Like maybe the earpieces need to loosen up a little bit or something. But yeah, I feel you. That's really annoying when that happens. All right. Well, I'm not terribly pleased with this final voting round, but whatever. If it's doors, I'll be upset. Maybe that's what we'll plan for tomorrow. We'll try to think of some doors. that we can do. I would be interested in trade. I think trade would be fun. Side effects obviously is fun. Keep it together and salvage. I don't know. I don't have concrete ideas for these, but I like the vibe. Same with recharge. Recharge would be cool. Not really feeling any of the others. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if it was depths or bottomless. I think I can imagine some like endless games that work like that. But yeah, companion, anchor, decay, doors. I really don't want to see any of these. We will have to wait and see what we end up getting here. I think that's it for that. But yeah, I don't think we're starting with any base code, which is unfortunate. We really need to put some more time into our standardized code template. Because I looked in here and it's got some stuff for like main menu, options menu, stuff like that. It's got some menu code, but it's really underdeveloped compared to anything else we have. So unfortunate. Unfortunate we don't really have a template library. If we had more time, I would probably try to prep some additional stuff, but I'm okay with it. Lurk, no worries. Thing still needs work. Ryson, salvage and keep it together could be some games like Katamari Damacy. Yeah, that could be fun. All right, so yesterday we were working on a new version of the grid level for assembling selection boxes. And we realized that we need 4 different layers to handle this. We need X face, Y face, Z face, which is like a top face, and like W, which is actually not W, it's like a Z, it's like a Z plus. But I'm just calling it W because that's easier. It's not actually accurate to what it is. I should probably call this Z minus and Z plus or something like that, but whatever. Who cares? So we've got these 4 layers. We've got our tile map, which we adjusted yesterday to work correctly. So we should be able to make a box now. So we could make a box like. Make a box like this. Oh, I already did it wrong. There we go. So we construct the X face, then we construct the Y face. Then we construct the Z face. And what we need to do now is we need to just set up the auto tiler to be able to do this for us. The W needs to do the bottom here. So this is how we're going to construct like selection boxes and things like that. It's not great, but it'll work. It's an okay start. Now we just got to get the auto tiler doing it for us. Ryson, you're calling all these ideas now. Okay, yeah, we won't use any of the ideas that you're coming up with here. Yeah, I don't have any concepts I got really lucky last time in that we got wind summoning, and I was like, okay, what are my constraints? I actually literally had a list of constraints. It was like, I probably need to do analog sound. I probably need to do inorganic things with very little animation. So I was thinking things like boats or other machines, like inorganic things that are pretty easy. And I was like, okay, analog music, I could play like little stringed instrument stuff. And we're just like, well, we could do like a sailing game or a ship game or something like that. And then the theme was wind summoning, and I was like, yeah, we did it. So we got lucky last time. That's not gonna happen this time. This time is gonna be hard work. All right, so we're doing a special case, which is the auto tiling for the used boundaries. Like basically, what are the boundaries of the construction area that we're actually using? And we're gonna draw a box around that. A dotted box. So what we need to do is we need to iterate through for all 4 layers. We need to iterate through and set the atlas coords. And build the tiles. And then we'll handle the more complex use case, which is selection boxes, which can be compound, like strange. They can be like a selection box can be non-contiguous or whatever, because you could like select one area and then shift click and select another area, and they don't necessarily have to touch each other. So we're just going to use a tool in the tool system to draw the quote unquote draw the selection the same way we would draw blocks, and then we'll draw. I'm using the word draw a little loosely. I'm saying the tool system will let us place blocks that are selection blocks the same way that we would place a build block for a ship hull if we were building a ship. So we'll build the selection the same way, which is actually, I realize, has a lot of good utility, because then the block system will know, okay, here's a block. It's been selected. What's here? What's in this block? And it helps to have that information there. But we're not worried about that right now. Right now, we're just worried about auto-tiling the used bounds, which is trivial relatively. So the lazy way to do it, which is the same way I do it up here, which is to do a for loop for every single layer, just so that the logic for each layer is separate. So like here's the logic for layer 3, aka the bulk layer X. Here's all the logic for it. So it's inefficient in that we're like looping over the same thing many, many times, but I prefer doing this to having one big loop that has like an insane number of conditionals, as it's trying to handle all the different possibilities of like what layer applies and stuff. Whereas here we can be like, we can just iterate through everything, and if it doesn't apply to this layer, we just continue. It's like inefficient, but it's modular and it's maintainable. And I think that's the principle we're going to use here for now, which is it's inefficient, but it's modular and it's maintainable. And if it becomes a performance bottleneck layer, so be it. Actually, I want to keep this note. So this is layer Z. This is the Z layer. Let's work on some of the other layers. So we need an X layer, Y layer, and then after this we need a W layer. So we're just gonna try to knock this out. We don't have a lot of time today because I started kind of late, but that's reasonable. I got a lot to do. We are gonna be marathon streaming the next few days. It is going to be a lot. We're probably gonna stream from like 3 or 4 in the afternoon till like 9 something at night on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday we'll probably do something like 10 to 6 or something like that, 11 to 7, something like that. My plan is to stream for like 24-ish hours over that 48. We'll see. We'll see if we stick to it. Our goal this year is to really just gonna keep the scope tight Crunch mode? Yeah, NanoBlit. Well, it's a 40 for it's Ludum Dare has 2 modes. There's like a compo, which is like a single person competitive mode, and there's Jam, which is like team based. Still competitive, but it's team based. And for the team based Jam mode, you have 72 hours, but for the single person competitive mode, we only have 48 hours. Plus 1 hour for submission. Sleeping under the desk and pizza for every meal. That is not far from what we're going to probably do. I probably will buy a pizza on Friday. And then just have it and have some frozen food. It's probably going to be kind of rough, but we've done it before. This will be our 3rd like big marathon game jam on stream. So I think we can do it. All right, I'm just going to be like the laziest person in the world here. I'm going to declare this up here. Chords. Does this not work? Can we not do that? But I can't also declare that here. It'll be upset if I declare another set of chords here, right? I mean, what I should do is iterate once and then handle, let's just do 1 loop and handle the different bits within. So like this, we'll just redeclare this stuff many times. So Atlas chords, we also need source ID. So integer source ID. Well, we don't actually need to do that here. So if chords.z is less, oh, we have a, no, it is better to just do this in loops because we can do the early outs. So let's just do it. Oh, I am allowed to declare the same variable here in different loops. Huh, okay. I feel like I should be able to, but sometimes I feel like the game or the code yells at me for doing something like this. All right, so for the X layer, what we care about if chords.x is greater than min.x or and chords.x is less than max.x. So if we're definitely in the middle, then we don't care about this face and we can just continue. All right, let's set up the rest of these loops. I really want to get this working today because I really need the game to be demonstrable over the weekend. Because we probably won't have a lot of time, but people are going to come in and they're going to ask me like what my main project is or whatever, or I'm going to bring it up because I'm going to want to bring it up. And I need the game to work. And right now I broke it, which I probably shouldn't have broken the game a week before Ludum Dare by trying to make this change, but c'est la vie. We also have a remastered version of A Following Wind, which is our last Ludum Dare game that I'm going to put up on itch tomorrow. And so that'll be kind of cool. Okay, so then for W, if chords.z is less than max.z, continue. All right. This is auto-tiling the use boundaries is something we're going to use very limited. It's just to be used during the edit mode. And it's only going to be done once for the active editing, the active area you're editing. So we don't really have to care that much about this. So we already did Z. It's probably easy to do W. W is basically the same as Z. We're just treating it a little differently. This part would be exactly the same. So we can just copy this part down. We need this, though. How's everyone doing? We're almost through the week.
Slowly and deeply through your nose. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth after you've counted to 4.
Anything new going on? I heard about this Nintendo Direct stuff people are losing their minds over. I really did like my Nintendo Switch, but now that I have a Steam Deck, I don't know how much I care anymore about like the Nintendo console. I've never really been a Nintendo person. I mean, I had an N64 when I was younger. That was fun. But yeah, I missed a lot of Nintendo stuff. I never had a GameCube or anything. So I think that makes me weird. I was really a PC gamer. Okay, so here's Z, here's W, which is really just a special Z, case of Z here. So we set the Atlas coords. We need to set the alt tile. The alt tile will only be set in Y. So here we can say, well, we don't even need to set it then. We can just say true or false. How do we create the tile here? So here we say tile with source ID, Atlas coords, and alternative tile. We don't really need to do that here. We can just add it because we're not doing this in multiple steps. Oh, there's the cutaway. I kind of want to include these tiles in the cutaway, but the cutaway is like the special logic here. I should break this out into its own function so we can reuse this. Although, oh no, we can just query the block here. We can just ask if cutaways.has this key, we just continue. Uh-huh. We have to do that every time though, which is a little annoying. So we can do that, and then we can say if cutaways dot contains oh no, shoot. We're adding this per, what's the key we're adding here for the cutaway system? Cutaway key. Is the key a vector 4? It is. So the cutaway is per layer. Oh, that's annoying. Let's not worry about that right now. We can add cutaway logic later. I don't want to do it right now. Rhiannon Journey, you tend to enjoy Nintendo's first-party games, but at the console price point and the game price, it's going to be a long time before you get one. I'd probably recommend a Steam Deck to your wife over the Switch 2. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Because it's like you still have your library of games, right? You don't have to play this game where you like need to repurchase all your games like you do with Nintendo. Yeah. What was it? It's like a $500 console with like $80 games or something like that. It's insane. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been a first-party Nintendo fanboy. Like I still haven't played Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, any of that stuff. I mean, it looks cool. Just never played it. And I don't know. I don't know if I've played a Mario game since Mario 64, you know? Except, you know, maybe Mario Kart. All right, so we're setting our Atlas coords. We also need to set the source ID. So source ID depends on whether this is a dotted grid or a solid grid. So for you, So we're going to say integer alternative tile equals 0. We're also going to say here we can say variable source ID equals what, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. So here we're going to say variable source ID. Oh, here we can say. So the only thing that really changes while we iterate is the atlas coords. So everything else we can define outside. I guess we only define it once, huh? Four. Nanoblit, the only Nintendo you had, it was a Game Boy Advance SP. Nice. I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Pocket back in the day. That was great. It was black and white. It was black and white. I played Pokemon Red on it. Pretty great. I think I did have a regular Game Boy after that. But I think I played maybe the next couple of Pokemon games on and some other games I don't remember. I remember playing Mega Man. That was also on the Pocket. Man, the old days. You didn't have backlit handhelds, so you had to like buy a light that you could like shine down on your screen. Oops, we don't want to redeclare these variables. All right, source ID is 4. Okay, the source ID remains 4. Tile. 4, 4, 5. Source ID becomes 3 for this one. All right, so that's the layer specific data that we need. Oh, we got a spammer. Hold on, let me blast this spam bot here. Love this. All right, fire at will here. Got him. Nanoblit, ooh, when you were in elementary school, the school playroom or whatever had the Game Boy Pocket. You were calling it the brick. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. You called it the brick in Polish. That's funny. Yeah, Game Boy Pocket was fun. It was pretty small for what it was compared to the original Game Boy. The Game Boy Color also got big again compared to the Game Boy Pocket. I really like the Pocket. It was very portable. The black and white part of it, I didn't really mind, weirdly enough. Yeah, when I was in early in school, we had one of those. They had one. I don't even remember what it was, but it was probably like a SNES or something. I don't remember what it was, but we played the hell out of the original Puzzle Fighter. I don't know what the original Puzzle Fighter was on, but we played it. Oh, we played it. Played it all the time. I can remember it vividly. All right, so here's the 4 layers. Here's the source ID, alternative tile, and atlas coords. The atlas coords just for the Z and W. I need to work out the atlas coords for the X and the Y, which are actually the same. So let's look. Let's do a looky-loo here. Should be super easy. So if you're at the max and the min, oh, there's something we need to do weirdly. We need to offset the coordinates for... We need to do this coordinate offset thing that we talked about. And now I need to think about how we're going to do that. Nanoblit, I guess now that you're looking at the images, it was the original Game Boy, not the Pocket. Yeah, the original Game Boy truly was a brick. That truly was. Played Wario Land 4 on it a lot. Original one is way more reminiscent of a brick than Pocket. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Pocket was surprisingly small for what it was. All right, so here's our problem, and I need to think about how we're going to do this. Which is that we need to place these. So if we're making this, if we're like placing the front here, and then we need to place the back, we need to place the back on the next. So if we're considering the back, we need to subtract. Okay. So actually what we need to do, man, do we need additional passes to figure this out? We need this to evaluate multiple directions, maybe. I need to think about how I'm going to do that. That's fine. We can start out by not worrying about that. It's the fact that we need to draw this like semi-transparent thing. We have to do this trick. Because we're projecting from the tile cell forward. So if we want to draw the back face, we have to go one tile back and then draw forward. Ryson, your first Game Boy was the color. You had the clear purple one. Nice, nice. I don't remember which one I had. I think it was blue. Wait, it was like that greenish blue. It might have been teal. I remember I had a red Game Boy Pocket, though. I don't know if they came in other colors. Those were the days, huh? All right, well, let's worry about the Atlas chords first, and then we can worry about the actual tile cell chords. So all you're really doing is checking to see whether you are either at the max or the min. That's kind of what I'm doing here, right? If coords.x is not equal to min.max or min.x. Okay, so we're saying if coords.x is not equal to min.x, then Atlas coords. Oh, I didn't define Atlas coords. Atlas coords equals Atlas coords with do I need to do this with thing? I do this if I'm iteratively changing something along multiple dimensions. Oh, I need to do that here. I guess the width is fine. It's mainly for the Z when we're changing in multiple dimensions. So we're gonna say x equals Atlas coords dot x plus 1. Is that right? So if, oh no, that's plus 2. Oh no, it's plus 1. And then max is plus 2. Okay. All right, that's easy. Now we should be able to just do that again with y. I'm like trying to tease the AI here to suggest the correct thing. There we go. A little harder than you would expect. I've been hearing about this vibe coding. I need to watch Primogen's devlogs on it. About this vibe coding he was doing with a game jam to make his game. This stuff is wild to me. I also saw a video on vibe coding the other day that cracked me up by whatever the guy that does all those hilarious programmer interview videos. Like interview with like a senior Java engineer or whatever. They did a vibe coding one, it was pretty good. All right, so that's done. And the same thing apply. Wait, hold on. We don't actually need the Y part here. The Y part is down here. We only check that here. I got confused for a second. In which case, we only actually need to do the width here on the second line. We can actually say... Oh, whatever, who cares? All right, so this is for all of the internal tile data. We still need to handle this positioning issue I'm talking about. So we're evaluating each block. Evaluating each block. So for each block, do I need to potentially assign 2 tiles? I might need to do that. Ryson, you know who I'm talking about? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think they're pretty famous. But the problem is they're always playing these characters, so I like don't know anything about who they actually are. But yeah, Primogen did this game jam up in this water tower in like Venice Beach or something like that. And they like vibe coded like a game in like 6 days or something like that. And I didn't even really know about that this was happening until I heard Adam C. Eunice talking about it after the fact. I was like, "What is this?" But I found that I'm gonna check it out probably while I'm working today. Seems funny. Seems funny, but also scary. You know. All right, so the Z and the W are handled because I've literally separated the 2 layers. I've separated them as if they are 2 layers. So what I need to do here, so chords.x is greater than min, and chords.x is less than max, continue. So I need to figure this out, and then I need to have one more check here. And I need to decide, I need to figure out whether we are... Okay, so we're gonna add a new tile. I need to figure out whether we're at the close plane or the far plane. And if we're at the far plane, I need to subtract 1 from the coordinate for the actual tile cell, not the atlas coords, but the actual position of the tile that we are setting. So is that right? So like if I'm placing this here, NanoBlit, you tried using GitHub Copilot for a bit when it first came out. But even ignoring all the issues like bad code and not using your brain, it just made programming not fun. Like playing a game that's completely passive where you don't need to think about what and why you were doing. Yeah, that's my understanding of it. I don't have as much experience to say firsthand, but that's definitely the fear that people seem to be talking about. Okay, so we do need to do a Y check, but only for this. So I'm basically going to say... So I'm basically going to only do a check. I'm going to ask... if we are at the minimum, if we're at the minimum for Y, then we'll subtract 1 from the... Oh god, this is X, not Y. F. I mixed up my coordinates. Hold on, I need to fix something. If coords dot Y is not equal to min dot Y. I flipped this around on accident. Is that right? Or... Huh. Okay, we actually need to do this a little differently. Yeah, I would be concerned about that stuff too. All I use is Writer's little predictive AI thing in here, and it, as far as I can tell, all it's really doing is looking at my code and suggesting things when I do something repetitive. Like, it doesn't seem to be generating anything complex. But I do understand that it is some kind of AI. All right, I've let myself get turned around a little bit because I'm talking about the X face, the X face along, this is along, no, this is along the X, isn't it? 1, 2, do, 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 do. So I do this. So we only care if we are at the X, okay. No, I had it right. I had it right. I was confusing myself. So this is X. This is Y. X face is along the... Okay. So I had that right. But now, what I need to do is check. So we'll make a new tile. We'll say tiles dot add, and we're gonna say, so we're adding a key. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say tiles, and now here we'll put the key. We'll say new vector 4i, and it'll be. So now we need to potentially change the X. So we need to say chords dot X is equal to min dot X question mark. If it is, so if it is the min, we want to do chords dot X minus 1. Otherwise, we're just doing chords. And then the Y is chords.y. Z is chords.z. And then the W is 0. So we set this up, and then we say this. All right. I'm not digging this song. Nanoblit, the writer thing, seems like it runs locally and only does very simple predictions. Yeah, and that's kind of what I want. Like, I want help with the boilerplate, but it's usually wrong, so I don't want that much help. So why can't I do this? Oh. So I didn't specify the X. So we're going to say this. I'll just have this. We'll say this with source ID is source ID. Atlas chords is Atlas chords. Alternative tile is alternative tile. Oh. Maybe I need to do this differently. Tiles equals tile. Oh, I generate the tile first. Why do I generate the tile first? Where is the tile coming from? It's just new with the key. Okay, that's fine. So we can say We can do this a different way. We can say tile equals new we can say tile equals new tile with, oh, I don't need the width. We can just assign the extra thing. So we can make this tile, and then we can say tiles dot add tile. Well, we want to add tile dot. Is there a shorthand for this? I don't think there is. We could just say variable key equals, I need to reuse this key. We can say tiles key equals tile. I know it's stupid that we include the key in the tile, but trust. Trust. All right, so we can do the same basic thing with some iteration on the tile, on the key generation. So for this, it's going to be Y instead of X. And so we need to say coords.x. All right, I think this will come together relatively quickly. And then for the key for this, the key here is very simple. It's literally just coords and 0. Oh, not 0. It's coords and this one is 2. This one is 1. And then this one is 3. And so we get all our tiles all set up for that. And then what we do here, after that is all done, now we do this last little bit of prep. Oh, we need to increase the counts whenever we do this. I forgot about that. So we're going key.z times whole layers plus key.w. So we need to say counts. So we need to say counts key.z. Oh, look at you. Look at you. It's like you know exactly what. Can I do a plus plus? I can. Look at you, little predictive AI. You guessed the right constant. All right, it can do things. It can hang. So we want to make sure we're adding to each layer specifically. So we need this count. We need this count later. All right, so now we got our counts. And now what we're going to do is we're going to output pack tile map data. So this is where we prepare the tile data to go back, to be sent back to the Godot side. Can we literally just call this? Target node counts, and then we just send over grid levels and hull layers, or grid levels and grid layers. Okay. Okie doke. What do I use this min and max for? Oh, I just set the bound. I see. Oh man, has it been an hour already? Ads are starting. Holy crap, it has. Today's gonna be a short stream because I started really late. So I want to just knock this part out and maybe do the hover. If we could do the hover, that would be great. Actually don't know how we're gonna do that part, but we'll figure it out. I don't really want to do a whole separate tile map layer for just the mouse hover, but we may end up doing that. So we're going to say target node counts grid. Wait, does it go layers and then levels? That can't be right. It does. That's not ideal. Especially if I'm passing in levels then layers. Yeah, levels come before layers. Int layers. Glad I caught that. That could have been bad. That would have been one of those bugs that would have been hard to find. All right, so we actually don't need the block buffer or the read-only span here, so I'm taking that out of the list of parameters here. And then when we output, we have a target node. All right, now go up here, fix the one error that I just created. So all we're really doing is just saying 1. We need a different, I need to not hard code the indexes for the target nodes. That's like really bad. I mean, it's fine to reserve the first few indexes. But I have a lot of magic numbers in this code that is going to cause me some deep pain later. All right, so we have that happening in theory. We're auto tiling. Let me make sure that this target node is the first node. Nodes add elastic. So add 0 is the editor. The first one is the elastic one. The hover is the second, and then the select is the third. Okay. The elastic is the used bounds that we're talking about. The hover is the mouse hover, which is a little tricky now because we added that that depth displacement, where like if you are hovering over, it's almost the kind of the way like I don't know, it's almost like the way if you were swimming out from a shallow beach, your shadow would start to get lower and lower because it's projected on the surface of the ocean floor, which is receding down. We had the mouse hover thing do that. And that we need to re-implement with this new system, and that will be a little weird. But good news, we can have vertical pipes with it now, so instead of having a projection of a flat little thing, we can see the vertical pipes coming down. That'll be cool. All right, let's run this and see where the errors are, because there will probably be many. The unpacking the tile map data probably will not work, because I have not set that up. Oh, the conversion is not working. Value is either too large or too small. Oh, shoot. We can't do this. Because I'm subtracting 1, we're occasionally getting a negative number. Uh-huh. I mean, we shouldn't be getting a negative number in practice at the moment, but it is something that is going to happen. So that is a bit of a problem. I have to decide how I want to deal with that. What's really annoying is that GDScript can totally convert negative numbers into U-shorts. I don't know how. And then it can decode it. It can encode it and then decode it. I mean, they must just have like a fancy encoding where they can include signs. But C# is not that smart, or at least the basic convert command is not that smart. So we actually need to we need to make sure we don't end up putting negative numbers in here. Okay. Let's fix the other thing that I almost thought for sure was going to be broken. Let's do that first. So nodes, tiles.targetNode.call unpack tilemap data, tiles.pack data. Excuse me. All right. So let's double check to make sure the unpack tile data thing is going to work, because it's basically here. Where is it here? So grid levels. This should work. This should just work. Unpack tilemap data, layer count, layer sizes, layer index, level count, layer count. Oh, we're redefining. We've defined layer count to be something else. We need to... Oh no, we're defining it here. Sick. But we're overriding a member variable to do it. That's less sick. That's unfortunate. Let's just hide this for a minute until we figure out what we want to do with that. Like aliasing a member variable on accident. Or overwriting it or whatever. Offset 512, negative 128. What even is this? What do we even use this for? Like, is that like a position or... Lord. All right, you're all using the same code now, huh? Yeah, you are. Okay. Let's hope that works out. All right, so how are we going to prevent negative numbers from being used? I think what we're going to do... We could just offset the entire elastic bounds thing. And then just do the opposite check. So instead of subtracting one, we just advance one. That could work. Because we're not going to run into the negative thing on the maximum end of it. We're not going to like accidentally go, you know. We're not going to go negative by adding numbers here. By adding one. That's a tall order. All right, so let's do that. Let's change this. Let's change this to do the opposite check. So let's basically say if coords.x equals max.x, coords.x plus 1. So we're just flipping this conditional here around. And that should solve for that, but there is a second step to this, which is we need to offset this layer. So if we go in here, we need to bring this layer back 1. And so that means making it minus 24, I think. I don't know. I think. I'm a little concerned at how the editor levels one is like ahead of everyone else already. Like a little concerning. There's an offset here I don't understand. And I just haven't wanted to have to think about it, so I'm gonna continue to not think about it. We'll utilize our rallying cry of let's not worry about that right now. Okay, so that offset I was saying we shouldn't worry about is crazy. I know what this is. This is because I changed something in one of the scenes, in one of the definitive scenes that, like, I know what we did here. I just need to fix it. So some of the scenes that we inherit from have a transform set, and some of them do not. And that is causing a problem. Because this needs to be not static. This needs to be like, well, the easiest thing to do would be to just add this back. Minus 16, minus 256. And see if that does it. And then we can worry about sorting that out later. If that works. Yeah, that worked. That was exactly the problem. Okay, so what if I draw a thing? Okay, so I mean, this works now. What if I draw something on another level? Okay, so I mean, the base game is working again. Okay, so everything's working, which is good, except for this so-called elastic grid that we're trying to draw. No errors. No debug errors. Which makes me think that the thing is just hidden. It's not hidden. Concerning. So you're not just hidden. Alright, so you're silently failing. What could cause you to silently fail? You should be drawing the dotted lines. That's what I've set you up to do. So if we just run here, look at the debugger. Oh, why are we back to... Oh, because I'm running the scene by itself? What? Wait, why is this back to not working again? Thought I fixed it. So you work? Are you gonna work this way when I run the debug mode? Oh no, you're back to having a weird, crazy offset. Alright, I guess we're fixing this offset problem. One second, someone's ringing my doorbell. We are back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so why did the offset go away and then come back? All right, let's get rid of that. Let's save that. Okay, so we have an offset, which means a scene that we instantiate from is not correctly overwriting some fields that we're setting in the editor. And so we kind of just need to go through and look at those things. So like this, yeah, the root node of a scene is recommended to not be transformed, since instance of the scene will usually override this. Reset the scene, transform and reload the scene to remove this warning. Yeah, we need to basically, we want to basically just take these out. So what do you inherit from? You inherit from a hull layer. Okay, you're locked in. So we're just gonna remove this from all of them up to a point. So these are overwriting correctly. Let's check you. No, you're correct. Hey, Matthew Sparks. How's it going? It's good. Ludum Dare starts tomorrow. It's a big game jam. So we're trying to do a little bit more work on our regular game. And then tomorrow evening, we start a big 48-hour game jam. We make a whole game from scratch by ourselves. It's going to be wild. So we're kind of just chilling today. How are you doing? All right, let's see where else these weird offsets may be. Okay, none of those. So none of the layers that inherit from hull layer seem to be having this problem. However, I bet grid layer is having this problem. Grid layer, tile layer, grid level. Oh, grid level has an offset. Okay, so here's where we introduce the offset. So we say -16, -256. We put the offset here. And then this has no offset. This is how we want this to be. Will any of it be streamed? It will all be streamed. So we'll probably be streaming a lot over the next 3 days. Matthew, you're doing great. You're waiting for the day to end so you can go do something that you actually want to do for the remainder of the day. I feel that. Yeah, we're gonna be streaming a ton over the next 3 days. Very unusual times for us. I'm really hoping we get a lot of new faces, and see a lot of people that maybe don't get to hang out in here very often that we do know. I'm excited. Last year was really good. Was really good for us in terms of growing the channel. All right, so hull level. You're all offset. Okay, I think we've got this figured out. I think we're applying the offset in the correct place now. All right, cool. I think we're good. Let's try it. Let's see if we got rid of that weird offset. Awesome. You'll be trying to watch a good bit of it then? Hell yeah. You got a ton of work stuff going on this week, and you'll need the added distraction to pull you through it. I appreciate that. I'm probably not going to start till pretty late tomorrow. So honestly, if I'm overlapping with people's work week, that feels bad. Because yeah, we're probably not going to start for, what would be like another hour or two from now. Okay, so now we have the offset here still, and it's in the opposite direction. Curiouser and curiouser. All right. Let's see where static levels are. So I say minus 16, minus 16, minus 24, 0. What is your position? 320 by 180, right? And then your position is 32. Why? Why do you have this offset? Weird. All right, we're just gonna keep making this worse until we make it better. A lot of it will be after hours stuff, work stuff for you, so that's great regardless. Okay, cool. We'll be on your channel here. Yes, yeah, it'll be here. It'll be here. We'll announce it in the Discord every time I go live. All right. So, fascinating. It's fascinating what has happened here. I really don't understand what's going on. It's too big a difference for this little change, for these little offsets that I'm using, to be making any real significant difference. So what I need to do is I need to look into these. I need to look into these. These look good. The hull levels and the grid levels look correct, is the weird thing about this. What kind of ordering difference do y'all have? Oh, you don't have the correct ordering at all. Oh, or is it 0, 8, 4, 8? Oh, okay. That looks correct. There's some kind of offset I'm doing with the input, maybe. Maybe I had something in here to like account for the difference. And now that I've removed the difference, I need to remove the thing that we were accounting, the thing that's accounting for it. I'm not convinced by that argument, though. I'm really not. So what is your maximum coordinates? 50 something? 60 something? What is like the distance between this and this? Like, do I even have this set up correctly? 63. Okay, so that is the correct position for the current. Okay. So minus 16 minus 256 is correct. Okay. And what about the hull levels here? This is also still minus 16 minus 256. Okay. You're still at 0. You're also still at 0. All right, time to start digging into the code and see if we've got an issue here with the input handler. So when the game board, when you are figuring out if there's action, you are mapping the cursor to the level coordinates. You do that here. So the coordinates are the static layers, local to map, static layers, to local. So you take the mouse cursor, you make it local to map, Okay, so maybe the static layers are in the wrong spot. It's probably what's going on here. But you're right, you're like right in the middle. All right, I'm gonna set all of these to 0 and see what's going on here. Oh, it works here. Works here. Okay. What if I undo those last 5 changes I made? Then I play again. Does it all of a sudden not work anymore? No, that still works. Okay, so that wasn't it. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did nothing, and yet it works now. So, that's cool. That's cool. What if I launch it in debug mode from writer? Does it not work again? No, it works. Okay. One of life's little mysteries. Okay, but here's the problem.
Most illogical.
I know. Very strange. It's like the big brain move of like, well, maybe if I rerun it, it'll behave differently. Okay, but unfortunately, we're not getting any of the stuff that we're expecting. We can draw this stuff out again, but we're not getting any of the used boundary stuff that we are expecting to get. And we're not getting any errors either, is the thing. So that's strange. I need to make the cutaway system not do anything if you've reached like the back wall of a structure or something. Need to have something. I need to change the way the cutaway system works. But not today. Today, we're trying to understand why this is silently failing. Output pack tile map data, target node counts, grid levels, grid layers. Yeah. Counts key.z. Counts is a new tiles.clear. Doodle-doodle-doo. Doodle-doodle-doo. Output pack tile map data. Maybe I should just debug right. Maybe I should log the bounds for a second. See if we're getting like an empty bounds. Which doesn't seem likely, but it does seem possible. Bounds should at least always be 1. Yeah, we're getting legit bounds. 39, 45, 45. 29, 6, 45, 45. Okay, yeah, we're getting legit boundaries, so that's not it. We're calling this. We're calling if game.peakstate. Well, we know we're calling this because we just debugged from inside it. So it's not any of that. It could be here in the game script. So we say while output.tiles.count is greater than 0, tilemap data pack tiles equals output.tiles.dequeue. Nodes tiles.targetNode.call tiles.packData. Well, we know this is being called at least once. Wonder how we're building this. So tilemap data pack has a target node index and a packed byte array. We're gonna very much change the way this works. But for now, so elastic equals levels.getNode, elastic levels, levels.getNode, elastic levels. Is this not called this anymore? Is it just silently failing? No, that's it. That's the node. You're using the same code as editor levels, which is making it perplexing if you're not working. Pack tilemap data, pack byte array, Ryan, level layers I. Am I not building the level layers? I am. I'm doing it right here. Level layers.append grandchild as tilemap layer. For child and get children. For grandchild and child.get children. Level layers.
Maximum warp.
Maximum warp, no Joel. How's it going? How are you doing today? Alright, well, I might have to just live with this mystery for now. The game runs, and that's what we wanted to achieve today. Super weird that it doesn't seem to be doing anything here. Maybe we're not packing any data? It's technically possible. Let's run it and let's scrutinize the remote tree. So we'll do this. Look at grid level 0. We'll look at this. Is there somewhere in here that will tell me like what the size of this is? No, I guess not, huh? You wasted too much time on pixel art today? Impossible. Pixel art's great. Okay, shame there's no real easy way to scrutinize the tilemap data here. What we could do is we can just say, we just add something here. We can just say, here's a problem I'm gonna have doing this. I like don't use GDScript enough, and we're gonna only use GDScript this weekend, and I'm gonna struggle to remember how it works. This self, not this, self dot tile map data. Can I just do that? Crash. Tilemap data on node 2D. No, I don't want the node 2D. Extends node 2D class name. Wait, extends node 2D? Oh yeah, no, of course you do. We need to go by level. We need to go level by level. Print level layers I dot tilemap data. Let's also print your name, maybe? Print self dot name. Maybe we do that at the top here.
The person you're trying to reach is not available right now.
You should have done something more pressing. You don't need self or no, I use GD script so rarely right now, I just question everything.
If you need
All right.
further assistance, enter pound now.
So elastic levels. Okay. So we are writing something to elastic levels. We shouldn't be calling unpack tilemap data literally every frame,
Please leave your name.
but we are passing it information. So a little concerning. Look at bigger now. No, it's staying the same size. Maybe it is drawing it somewhere. It's drawing it somewhere wrong. I don't know.
Goodbye.
All right, let's look. So editor levels, blank, 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 blank. Elastic levels, 4. Only ever 4. 4 tiles. Why is editor levels blank? We know that's like not true. Like we straight up saw that that was not true. What in the... Here we go. Elastic levels. Okay, so this is bad. Whatever here is poorly formatted and obviously wrong. But then you switch to doing something normal. I am so confused. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong here. Alright, I don't know. The game works. The thing we're trying to do doesn't work, but I can live with that for now. I just wanted to make the game playable again, so that during the jam, if people want to see the tool, I can show it off. Shame that none of the selection box stuff is going to work, but whatever. I can live with that. Everything else seems to be working. And I'm not getting any errors. That's like the weird part. It's like silently failing. So what if I do this? What if I hide the elastic levels and I play this again? Can I not actually see anything? No, I can see it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Super weird. Why can't you just be normal? Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I know this is like a crazy short stream, but I gotta wrap it up. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta do to prepare for tomorrow. So, but we'll be back. We'll be back, and later, maybe around something like this time tomorrow. We'll come back, probably a little later than this. Maybe around 3 or 4 my time. It's currently 2 o'clock my time. We'll probably come back tomorrow around 3 or 4. And then the marathon streams begin. And Ludum Dare begins. And whatever happens when we come out the other side, we'll have another game under our belt. And that's cool. If nothing else, that's cool. When is the jam? It starts tomorrow. No, Joel. Well, depending on your time zone. It starts, for me, at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure that's true. I'm pretty sure that's true. I did sign up. Event. Show me the event time. Why don't they show me the time? Oh, here it is. Starts Friday at 6 p.m. PDT. My time. Yeah, very exciting. Doors is a great theme. Yeah, I think you're right, Ryson. I think everyone is going to pick Doors. I'm very upset. Very concerned about that. But Yeah, no worries. Co-work. We can always hang out and co-work, Ryson. Yeah. Just feel free to steal my ideas. All right. Well, it's been nice seeing everybody. We'll be back. We'll be streaming all weekend. So, you know, if you don't happen to go outside and have a life and all those cool things people should do on a weekend, it'll be cool to see you. 9 p.m. for you. Yeah, that's rough for a start time. That's true. It's truly rough. We'll probably have a short first stream. I say short. It'll probably still be like 6 hours. And we'll probably do brainstorming, ideation stuff, prep, all that good stuff. Maybe a couple surprises. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.